Hi, this is Stephanie with Imbue, and if you're new here, Imbue stands for Empowerment and Beauty. I'm a beauty expert and a coach in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and I pop on live about once a week to just share some tips about things that I might be going through or other people in my community are going through. So, this week I'm going to talk about the holidays since they're upon us and some of the ways that I like to help get through all of the expectations of having a lot of plans and other people's agendas coming my way. So, there are a lot of family dynamics this time of year. There are a lot of work expectations and friend expectations and a lot of expectations that we put on ourselves too. And so I just wanted to address some of those, and I've got 3 little tips that'll help you to feel a little bit more empowered as you navigate all of the expectations of this time of year. So the first one is to make the plans. And I know that might sound a little counterintuitive, like you have enough plans already, why would you want to make more? But I think what happens a lot of times this time of year is that, you've got 5 people having parties that they're inviting you to, and you've got families pulling you in different directions, and maybe, kids' activities and all of these things. And what can end up happening is that you have 0 control over your own schedule. Or the opposite thing can happen, and this is what I'm experiencing in my family this year. It's a little bit interesting, that no one is committing to anything. No one's making a plan, and you can't get anybody to commit to be anywhere at any time, which was a unique problem this year. So making the plans gives you a little bit of control over what your experience will be. And I know it's not always possible for you to make the plan, but if there are ways that you can decide what you want your holiday to be or what you want your experience to be in a situation, and then you can invite people in to share that with you, you'll feel a little bit more grounded, a little more in control, and you'll be able to invite people into the experience in your own way, rather than being pulled in a million different directions. So that's what I mean by making the plans. The second one is to give everyone a job. And I know that if you're someone that hosts, chances are pretty good that you're got it all covered, and maybe you like it a certain way, or maybe you're really awesome at doing it all yourself, and that is amazing, and I applaud you. But it can be really, really helpful to ask for help, not only for yourself, but also it helps others feel more involved in the end result. And sometimes that can be if you're going to a holiday celebration somewhere else, sometimes you can give yourself a job, or you can ask the host if you can have a job, and then you can feel a little bit better in that situation. I'm always more comfortable when I have a very distinct job rather than just socializing, because that is my nightmare. So that can be really helpful. Or if you're the one hosting, ask other people to help you out, or maybe delegate some gift shopping to a personal assistant or your spouse, or decide to order things on Amazon rather than going out in person to a store. So in any way that you can help bring people into the experience, if you can ask people to bring a dish to your celebration, or to help you get the house ready, whatever it is, ask for help. And then the last tip that I have is to prepare for the stresses ahead of time. And this isn't about really focusing on all the stresses and then letting them stress you out even more, which can be really easy to have happen. It's about really acknowledging what those stressors are, thinking of the worst case scenario ahead of time, and then making a plan for it, which doing that in and of itself can oftentimes be enough to help you to feel a little better about that situation, which usually, honestly, the things that we're worried about don't ever actually happen. Is that the same for you too? That's how it usually ends up for me. So this I cannot take credit for. It's something I heard from Tim Ferriss once upon a time, and who knows where he heard it from, but he calls it fear setting. So what you'll do is you'll take a piece of paper, write down all of the things that you're stressed about, and it can be related directly to holiday expectations or parties, but maybe it's work deadlines or something else that's just been on your mind and heart lately. Write everything out that you're worried about, and then you can write next to each one what it is that the worst case scenario would be. Get down to the nitty gritty, pour your worst fears onto the paper, and really look at it. Let it be there. And then the last step of it is to make a plan. And if that worst case scenario is going to happen, here's your plan for how you're going to overcome it. And more often than not, having a plan like that just helps take the emotional charge out of the situation. It's really not as dire as and dramatic as you might have thought that it would be. And sometimes that's enough to switch yourself out of stress brain and get a little bit out of that cycle so that you're feeling a little bit better about the things that are about to come. Like, it gives you this feeling of, I've got this, I'm going to be able to handle whatever it is that happens. I don't need to worry. So that is probably one of my favorite things to do. And that's it. That's the making the plans, giving everyone a job, and doing the fear setting activity. So hopefully those are helpful for you. And I hope that you have an amazing holiday season and that it's been really, really great for you so far. And I'm going to link another tool that I have that's free that I use when I'm about to go and do something big, like go to an event or a family party or anything that I'm feeling like is going to be kind of stressful and take a lot of energy. And it's a free guided meditation, and it's about protecting your energy. So it's a little over 10 minutes long. It's really, really great, super helpful, and I'll link that in the comments so that you can check it out. Okay. Happy holidays. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you next week.